Hey, great to have you here. So today I want to take a quick look at a surprise drop we got for a Dragon Ball SH Figuarts accessory. It's the healing chamber that Goku used in the Namek saga. Before jumping into that, this week's been kind of crazy with a lot of Figuarts news coming out. We obviously have the San Diego Comic-Con figures coming out this week, so for folks that are going to the convention themselves, they can pick those up. For folks who aren't going to the convention that still want to get the figures, we'll be getting those on Premium Bandai at some point in the future, I imagine. Sometime after the convention. I know at one point they did it directly after the convention. Last year, it was a few weeks afterwards, so I would expect sometime between post-convention to the mid-August timeframe to see those go up on Premium Bandai, so make sure to keep an eye on that website when those come out if you want to pick any of those up. They typically do sell out of those ones as far as Premium Bandai releases. The Comic-Con ones are really the only ones that ever have that issue, so if you want any of the aforementioned figures, the Goku with Gohan, the Trunks, the Jiren, or even the Kakashi or the Godzilla, make sure to keep an eye on those when those come out. If I get any news, I'll make sure to share it here as well. And we also got the Dragon Ball Daima figures that got sneak peek at those. We had a picture of Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo. So really interesting look to those. We'll see more details on those as move along throughout the year. But at first look, pretty cool looking figures. Obviously, we haven't seen the anime yet, so I'm not sure how high the interest is at this point for those guys. But stay tuned for more information on those as well. So with that, we're just going to jump right into the surprise announcement of this healing chamber that we got. So there's a lot of duplicate photos, so I'm going to spend time just focusing on the unique ones here. Starting off with just the chamber itself closed, so you just see the size of this thing. I believe the detail is described as being about 5.5 inches in size, so decent size of this, about a figure art laying down as far as size goes. And as far as aesthetic, this definitely looks like the chamber that Goku used in that Namek saga as he was healing from his battle with the Ginyu Force and the Ginyu body swap situation as Frieza was fighting the others as he was healing, kind of prepare for that battle. As we can see on the image here, we have kind of the blue opening where you could ultimately put a figure in. We'll see pictures of that as we move along here, but main aesthetic here is the display panel we have here with the 4 yellow buttons, the blue button, the red button. Overall, looks pretty cool. Hopefully those look like they have some depth to them other than just being colors, so I think this perfectly matches what we're looking for as far as the aesthetic of representing the show and the manga from what this looked like. So moving forward, we have another photo of Goku actually sitting in it. So obviously this doesn't come with a Goku figure, but if you have your Saiyan Raised on Earth figure, this is really primarily for that. So we have Goku sitting in the pod here, and it looks like we have the piece on his mouth attached to the floor in front of him, as well as a few other tubes coming up from the side of his head. It's really hard to see in this photo if those tubes at the top are just kind of going up in the air beyond the view of the photo, or if they're actually attached to anything at the top. I would guess they're probably just floating up in the air, but we'll see additional shots maybe sometime in the future to see a better idea if those are connected at the top. Obviously at the bottom, it looks like that hose is connected to the piece in front of his feet, so really cool aesthetic. This definitely meets the look of Goku and his healing process that was demonstrated throughout the show. So moving forward as well, we have another shot with the healing pod closed. So this is really what it's going to look like. I don't think most people are going to use the prior photo where they have him with the door open. That's just kind of aesthetically to show what it looks like inside of it. So if you're having Goku in the pod, this is primarily the view you're going to get. And we get a little better look at, yeah, it's still tough to say if those cords just go up into the air, if they actually connect to somewhere at the top or not, but cool look here. We see the little bubble effects really highlighted here, and this accessory, I feel like obviously it's to a specific scene or a specific point in time in the show, but I think this perfectly represents Goku as he's healing up to prepare for this fight with Frieza. Next up, we have just a close-up shot of Goku with an alternate face. So previously we had him with the eyes closed, just resting and healing up. This one a little bit more of a silly face, where this seems to be more so after he's just entered into the pod, where he's just still a little woozy, still trying to recover, or possibly when he has his eyes open, he's thinking throughout the show as well. But goofy face here, you see his head's a little bit dirty and his eyes are a little bit squinted as well. He just looks a little frazzled, not really sure where he's at. Hair's a little bit all over the place, so funny looking view of Goku here with this one. So it looks like we kind of have a couple looks, either him with the more serious healing face, which to me personally is a cooler look, but we have this funny one as well where we have him kind of looking a little goofy. And then finally we have our last shot here of him in the pod with that goofy face and Vegeta staring at him. So they're obviously really looking to push both this accessory of this healing pod as well as the recently announced Vegeta that I did a video on. Tamashii really likes to do, especially as of late, I feel like they like to pair stuff together. So you buy one, buy this other one to go with it. So another example of that, they have that Vegeta represented here. They have Saiyan Race North Goku in the pod, who I think is getting a reissue at this point. It makes sense to pretty much always do a reissue of standard base Goku. Obviously, if they get a 3.0 in the future, that'd be the one to use, but we have Saiyan Race North for now. But either way, the point is they like to couple multiple things, so you wind up buying the package of things. So great marketing tool here. We have Vegeta staring at Goku in the pod as you put him in there to ultimately heal up. Now, looking at the overview of the pod as well, you can see this is going to be $95 and ultimately comes out today. It's actually probably out right now as I'm speaking, but comes out on Friday. And I personally, my thoughts on this one is it's really cool. It's something I would have a high interest in, especially that stern face where you have the door closed where he's doing that healing position. I just think that $95 price point is kind of tough. I'm not saying it's not worth it because you're getting a pretty large piece of plastic here that has additional accessories with it as well. But for me personally, if I'm spending close to $100, or actually with taxes and shipping, this is over $100, I like to have new characters more often than accessories. I know this is a large accessory, so kind of the exception. It's not one of those like battle packs or one of those dining packs. This is more of a larger accessory that has a bigger representation to the show. So I get the price point, but to me, I think I had a lot of interest in it until seeing that 95, and after seeing that, I personally have backed off a little bit in interest, I would say. As far as additional details that are highlighted here, as mentioned, it has 135 millimeters as the length, so that's about 5.5 inches, I believe. And then just calls out the various pieces that we obviously covered in this video. So we have the various heads, the pod itself, and then obviously mentioned you can use this with a Vegeta or Goku to help complete the scene ultimately. So what are your guys' thoughts? As I said, I personally really like it, but I'm probably leaning against it just because of that price point. But curious what you guys think. Is this something you're interested in picking up or you plan to pick up? Overall, what are your thoughts on kind of the direction of Tamashii with some of these add-ons? I think they're really cool, but as I said, the price is kind of what steers me away. Any additional comments? Would love to see your guys' feedback in the comments below. Anything on Comic-Con, anything on Dragon Ball Daima. Just total engagement, open for that. So appreciate you guys watching and hope to talk to you again soon.